A delay in dollars. Cobalt Energy's groundbreaking is pushed back as the solar panel plant looks to find funding. Plus, clear minds and full hearts. Friday Night Lights takes center showcase. Mel's in with your North Country Sports Report. But first, pistol permits are paused in St. Lawrence County. Officials want answers and a clear path forward in the wake of changing gun legislation. Good evening, I'm Zach Grady. Garrett Domblewski is off this evening. The St. Lawrence County clerk tells us New York State's new gun legislation is the reason why if you want a pistol permit, it's going to be a waiting game. 7 News reporter Sean Brinda has the details.
The revelation came Wednesday night during the 7 News debate when the 116th Assembly District candidate Susan Duffy said this.
I personally applied for a concealed carry permit in November of last year. And I found out this week, I finally had a call this week, and I was told that, number one, in St. Lawrence County, the judge is no longer issuing concealed carry permits. They're also no longer taking applications for concealed carry permits.
Duffy's comments were a reaction to Governor Hochul's new gun laws, which, among other things, prohibit weapons in most public spaces. A federal judge put major parts of that law on hold this week. 7 News found what Duffy said was true. Gun permit applications are on temporary hold, according to the St. Lawrence County Clerk, Sandra Sanamore.
We just haven't been accepting applications since the new laws took effect. Number one, the state has already changed the application that they originally came out with once, to keep processing stuff that's not even right to begin with. So at this point, basically what it is we're waiting for clarification from both the state and the judge.
As New York's gun laws work their way through the courts, gun shop owner Matt Pinkerton is frustrated, believing the new laws were flawed from the start.
I completely understand why the permit process would be slowed or halted at this point, because the governor has put into place a system that is very logistically difficult to enact.
The fight over gun laws in New York is far from over. The state will appeal the judge's decision to strike down certain parts of the law, and no one expects that appeal to be the last word. In the Cam Bureau, Sean Brinda, 7 News.
Groundbreaking of a new solar panel plant in Watertown hits a delay as the company is looking for additional funds for the project. 7 News reporter Chad Charette with the latest.
This isn't the first time Commvault's planned solar panel plant has hit a snag. Initially, officials planned to break ground over the summer. Despite the setbacks, Dave Zembeck with Jefferson County Economic Development says things are moving along as smooth as they can.
We'd like to see moving ahead faster than what it is, but the bottom line is things are still moving forward. We're seeing lots of good signs, and it's been delayed, but it's a big project, so there's a lot of complicated pieces to kind of bring together between the planning and the funding and the financing that's going to be involved.
As of now, the groundbreaking is slated for November. What's held it up? According to Zembeck, financing. He says Commvault is currently trying to secure a $25 million low-interest loan through the Department of Agriculture, and the vetting process is taking a while.
That savings on a side, when you look at $25 million in financing, can be pretty significant. So, but because you've got the government loan guarantee coming in there, it takes a little bit more time for the vetting process.
When things are finalized, the plant is set to sprout up at an 88-acre plot of land right next to Watertown International Airport. That location gives the airport a unique opportunity.
They've got business going on overseas. It would be great to have the local airport there for customers to fly into and for their people to fly in and out of. And so that may spur and support growth at the airport. And it'd be an advantage to the company to have the airport right next door like that.
And Zembeck says more than just the airport will benefit. The over 300,000 square foot facility is set to bring in a lot of jobs.
It start out probably employing about 150, 160 employees first year, but by the end of year 3, they expect to be around 400 employees, and planning to continue growth beyond that.
According to Zembeck, delays like this aren't exactly uncommon. He says he's confident that the groundbreaking will take place this November. The plant itself should be open by mid-2023. Chad Charette, 7 News.
John's in with our first weather forecast. John, what's it look like outside tonight?
Kind of chilly out there, as a matter of fact, and also cold enough to where a couple of showers are coming off the end of Lake Ontario. Let's check the maps. First look weather brought to you by Doors Plus, garage door sales and service located in Adams Center. Give a call 315-777-8550. Notice that little bit of light blue over the Adirondacks. Yeah, potentially some snow flurries off to our east. Any lake effect rain generally in central New York, and I think that's where it's going to remain overnight tonight. 42 at midnight, mid-30s at 6 by the noontime hour, partly cloudy and near 50 degrees. A cool weekend on tap, so we'll talk about that and a whole lot more in a bit. Zach, back to you.
Thanks, John. She's been cancer-free for 6 months. Now a Watertown woman is on her next journey, supporting those who have gone through and are going through the same. 7 News reporter Lexi Bruning tells us her story.
Sometimes it just takes one phone call to change your life.
She told me I tested positive for breast cancer, and that was it.
But that March 2020 call was only the beginning for Linda Fredenberg and her long and at points isolated journey. She had just moved back to the North Country after living in Western New York for a bit, not realizing another hurdle was ahead, a global pandemic.
So I was like petrified. I was like in panic mode. I mean, total panic mode.
During her treatments at Upstate University Hospital in Syracuse, she was often alone.
I did chemo 3 days a week.
Linda says she had her husband, best friend, and family.
But that connection with somebody else that had breast cancer was the part I didn't have.
She has since started up a new group she had been missing. Held at the First United Methodist Church on Mullen Street in Watertown, it's called the Breast Cancer and Beyond Support Group.
That's extremely important to give these people the hope and to take care of the stress and just to be welcoming to them so that they understand they're not alone.
The group meets every Monday, and Linda wants people to know the door is always open. So if they get that call someday, they'll know who to turn to.
The whole thing of it is to regain control of our lives. You know, we want to regain control and feel like we still have purpose.
Lexi Bruning, 7 News.
Firefighters across the country are heading to Maryland for National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Weekend. The event serves as an official tribute to all firefighters who have died in the line of duty. This year, several Watertown firefighters, including Chief Matt Timmerman, are taking the trip. They are doing so in honor of fallen firefighter Peyton Morris. Morris actually visited the memorial before he died. Timmerman says taking part in the ceremony leaves him with mixed emotions.
We're honored to be able to play a part of that, but none of us really want to go down for that reason. You know, I'd much rather be walking in today and see Peyton Morris getting his turnout gear ready for another shift today. But instead, we're going down to add his name to the memorial.
Events will be taking place throughout the weekend in Emmitsburg, Maryland. A vigil will be held on Saturday. A Watertown woman pled guilty to bank fraud. Federal prosecutors say 44-year-old Carrie Weatherthall admitted to using a dead relative's identity and an ATM card. She used her identity to withdraw supplemental security benefits from the relative's bank account. They say she also got county nutrition assistance money known as SNAP. Weatherthall agreed to pay back more than $92,000. She could get a $1 million fine and 30 years in prison when she's sentenced in February. A new year, a new name, and a new location. After 3 years off, Watertown's Fall Fest is back with a new name, the Local Arts Fall Festival. The festival is also moving to the Veterans Memorial Riverwalk from Public Square, where it has been held in years past. There will be food trucks, vendors, artists, and live music. Downtown Business Association President Joseph Westner is excited for the new venue.
It's a great park. It's very underutilized, and the city wants to bring the river back into the community, so why not bring the community to the river?
The city will have a local waterfront revitalization program booth at the festival. People can stop by and share their visions and ideas for the waterfront. The event runs Saturday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Still to come tonight, Mel's in with this week's North Country Sports Report.
Hey Grady, we head to the tennis court for our Athlete of the Week.
Plus, a Watertown resident is heading to help. She's traveling to Ukraine with basic medical supplies. Her story when 7 News continues.
From the North Country's news station, you're watching 7 News Tonight with Garrett Dumbluski. tonight's weather with John Kubis, and your North Country sports with Mel Busler.
First look at weather.
Friday's daily numbers, the 678, and the wind for 9512. The name Millie Smith may be familiar to you. She's an outspoken reformer of Watertown School, a physician's assistant who owns an urgent care in Watertown. 7 News reporter Sandy Torres tells us something you might not know about Millie Smith.
It's been more than 220 days since the Russian war started in Ukraine, and soon Watertown physician assistant Millie Smith will see the human costs of the war firsthand. She will be part of a group traveling to Eastern Europe to help people who fled the war and who need care right down to the basics.
Some of the things that the delegation has been asked to bring are just simple things, like for us that we take for granted. Vitamin C, Tylenol, ibuprofen, just some of the basic over-the-counter medications that we take for granted.
Smith will be traveling to Krakow, Poland first to treat refugees there, then on to Ukraine. The trip is the work of One Heart, an Israeli group which provides humanitarian relief around the world.
We're actually going to go to Lviv, which is a neighboring Ukrainian village, and we're actually going to cross the border and provide medical services to. They have medical tents there.
One Heart has been traveling to Poland for a week at a time since the war began. It'll be Smith's first trip.
We have been briefed about some of the things that we're going to see. So my expectation is that it's going to be a very emotional experience.
But Smith believes more will be needed beyond medical help and emotional support.
They're going to provide whatever support services, taking them to the store, getting them food, providing clothing, giving toys to the children. So it's not just a medical perspective, but this One Heart organization is really doing a cohesive and a whole humanitarian effort.
Smith says she never expected this rewarding opportunity, one where she will learn how people live in times of war and provide mental, emotional, and physical relief. Sandy Torres, 7 News.
John Kubis is back next with your full forecast.
I'm going to give you 3 great reasons why you should shop at Northern New York's.
Now, tonight's weather.
A little bit of green showing up on the Doppler radar. Believe it or not, a little bit of blue as well. Let's check those maps, the satellite and Doppler radar, and notice right around the Doppler radar site, right up around Montague, maybe some flurries in the air and also potentially scattered about through the Adirondacks too. A bulk of the precipitation, all rain, and that's generally down towards Oswego, down towards Mexico and Central Square. And I think for the most part, that's where any precipitation should remain overnight tonight. It's cooling off. We're at 44 degrees. Bit of a wind chill too, courtesy of that northerly wind at 7. Feels like 40 out there. It feels kind of chilly considering how kind of warm it's been, right? Pressure right now 30-15. That is high, has been on the rise. We're at the low, our high 63. As far as the averages, fairly close to where we ought to be. That's not going to be the case this upcoming weekend. Records 19 set back in 1999 was a warm one in 55. We got up to 83. Upper 30s at Old Forge, 44 in Lowville, 43 in Canton, and also at Forge Run. 41s in Kingston, and also in Barnes Corners too. 37 in Ottawa, 50 in Albany, 60s Boston, and also in the Big Apple. 46 in Pittsburgh, and the same can be said down in Detroit. 70s Dallas, 60s Atlanta, 42 in Minneapolis, 47 in Denver, 80 in Phoenix. A mild in Seattle. They're currently at 69 degrees. All right, high pressure off to our west will eventually build on in. I don't think it'll clear out the skies too much tomorrow. No, sure, after midnight tonight, skies should clear on out, and that means a chilly start to the day tomorrow. But with tomorrow's sunshine and a shifting westerly wind, we could be dealing with some lake effect rain showers coming off the end of the lake, generally Watertown and Point South, the Kentucky Hill Plateau. As far as the overnight on the futurecast, notice skies clearing out after midnight. That means lows will be in the upper 20s to lower 30s. During the course of the day, not really warming up too much. I mean, sure, we'll be in the 50s, and there you see the effects of that westerly breeze. Some extra clouds during the course of the afternoon, and also potentially a shower here or there. As far as your overnight lows, pretty much in the 30s across the board. A bit warmer by the water, as it generally is this time of year. We'll call it mostly cloudy. Tomorrow, decent shot for some showers, mainly south of the city. Highs only in the lower to middle 50s. Lewis County overnight, chilly for you. Lows around freezing, mostly cloudy tomorrow. The risk of showers generally later on in the day. I'm thinking around noon and afternoon. Highs around 50. St. Lawrence County tonight, mainly cloudy. Lows right around freezing tomorrow. The risk of a shower, generally speaking, down towards Star Lake, southern portions of the county. Highs only in the upper 40s to lower 50s. Sunday, a better chance for some rain. Highs around 55. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday looking dry. Nice warming trend too. Mid 50s on Monday, lower 60s on Tuesday, upper 60s on Wednesday. And the risk for some rain showers and mild next Thursday. That's all I have for now. Have a great weekend. Coming up next, Mel has sports. Stay tuned.
Columbus Day savings start now at Metro.
Now your North Country Sports.
Time for your Toyota Sports Report. It's another football Friday night around the North Country. Plenty of gridiron action. Rob Crone is in to sort out all the highlights.
Non-league football from Lowville, an NAC Section 3 meeting as the Red Raiders hosted OFA. Red Raiders get on the board first when Logan Watson hits Brendan Hamburg for the 15-yard TD, 6-0 Lowville. Second quarter, the Blue Devils tie it up. Justice McIntyre takes it in from a yard out, 6-all. OFA goes on to beat Lowville 22-6. Section 3 football from Carthage, the Comets hosting New Hartford. First quarter, New Hartford strikes. Alex Colliver finds a hole in the line and goes in from 10 yards out. Second quarter, it's Colliver again, taking the pitch and going 74 yards down the sideline for the touchdown, 14-0 New Hartford. Carthage cuts into the lead when Khalil Tavaga hits Ashton Norton for the 11-yard score, 14-7 New Hartford. New Hartford goes on to beat Carthage 20-7. Another Section 3 football contest from Philadelphia, Indian River entertaining Homer. First quarter, Homer capitalizes on a Warriors turnover. Samuel Sorensen takes it outside for the 15-yard touchdown, 7-0 Trojans. But the Warriors answer on their next possession. Connor McMahon plows in from a yard out. The two-point conversion puts Indian River up 8-7. After a block punt by the Warriors, it's Kane Lynch taking it in from a couple of yards out. 16-7 Indian River after one. Indian River goes on to beat Homer 36-14. Section 3 football from Boonville, Adirondack hosting General Brown. No score in the second. Caleb Natali takes the pitch and goes in for the touchdown. Lions up 6-0. After a Wildcat turnover, it's Natali again. General Brown goes on top 13. Adirondack answers. Ray Hennessy takes it in from a couple of yards out. General Brown falls to Adirondack 30-27. NAC football, Canton at Potsdam. Bears lose the football, and Brody Hughes picks it up and takes it 25 yards for the score, 6-0 Potsdam. Fourth quarter, David Zulsdorf hits Charlie Todd in the end zone for the score, tying the game at 6. Then it's Zulsdorf to Todd for the two-point conversion. Canton beats Potsdam 8-6. And in Star Lake, longtime Clifton Fine teacher and coach Joseph A. Russo was honored with friends, family, and former students in attendance as the school passed a resolution to officially name the gym at Clifton Fine Central the Joseph A. Russo Gymnasium. A well-deserved honor. Rob Crone, 7 News Sports.
Tonight's local scoreboard's brought to you by Coleman's Corner, located behind Fairground Inn across from Watertown Arena. Coleman's Corner offers traditional Irish fare along with gourmet sandwiches, burgers, steaks, and seafood. Enjoy your favorite beverage for great food. It's Coleman's Corner. High school football, Indian River defeats Homer. New Hartford, a winner over Carthage. OFA, Downs Lowville. Adirondack outlasts General Brown. Little Falls over Sandy Creek. Canton beats Potsdam. 8-man football, Thousand Islands, by the way, a winner over Weedsport. Boys high school soccer, Belleville Henderson defeats Lafargeville. Lime over Sackett's Harbor. South Jefferson downs General Brown. Watertown a winner over Indian River. Alexandria beats Copenhagen. South Lewis outlasts Beaver River. Madrid Waddington blanks Brushton Moira. Morristown over Herman DeKalb. Harrisville over Norwood Norfolk. Canton beats OFA. girls high school soccer, St. Regis Falls over Brushton Myra. Chateauguay downs Colton Pierpont. Lisbon a winner over Norwood Norfolk. St. Lawrence Central over Parishville Hopkinton. Immaculate Heart downs General Brown. High school volleyball, Clifton Fine over Salmon River. Malone downs Madrid Waddington. Women's college volleyball, Clarkson over William Smith. RIT beats St. Lawrence. Fredonia winner over Potsdam. Men's college hockey, St. Lawrence over Merrimack. It was New Hampshire outlasting Clarkson. In women's college hockey, Clarkson defeats Mercyhurst. This week we honor a tennis player from Immaculate Heart who has put up a perfect record so far this season. Her ability on the court earning her the Watertown Savings Bank 7 News North Country Athlete of the Week award. Samantha Booth of Immaculate Heart receives this week's honor. This talented sophomore tennis player is undefeated so far this season as she gets ready for sectionals. She has lost just one set all season with a 149-29 game record. She went 11-0 during the regular season, 2-0 in the Frontier League tournament, winning the B Division crown in first singles for a second straight year. Last season, she made it to the sectional semifinals. Oh, and in the classroom, she holds a 99 average, an outstanding student athlete.
Honestly, I'm just really thankful to be able to have this. With what we were given, 4 people on a team, it's a little difficult, but it's been so much fun, and the competition this year has been unmatched, and I'm just really thankful. Just playing with my dad in the summer and playing with my friends, I don't really know. Tennis has always been there, and it's just something that it's meant to be for fun, and I feel like this year has really shown that all of that fun is kind of progressed into something bigger. And this year, I'm definitely shooting for the finals. Last year, I'm still granted, I'm very young. We have a very young team, but this year, I feel like I'm a little bit more prepared. I feel like I'm a little more comfortable with myself, and I'm just more excited. You know, there's more to look forward to.
She's really focused, and she always has been. She started playing for me in 7th grade and started out right in second singles, and has always concentrated, has always paid attention, followed direction, and really drives herself to be successful. I'm a little surprised she went undefeated. She had a very good record last year. She only lost 2 matches in the regular season. But undefeated against girls who were very experienced, very strong. That was a very pleasant experience, very pleasant surprise.
Congratulations to Samantha Booth of Immaculate Heart, the Watertown Savings Bank 7 News North Country Athlete of the Week. Longtime teacher, coach, and administrator Mark Taylor resigned effective today as principal of Case Jr., but he's not leaving the school district. He's starting his dream job. Mark Taylor was a longtime coach at Watertown starting in 1989-90 with modified lacrosse and JV soccer. For 12 years, he coached both varsity boys soccer and volleyball. 17 years ago, he applied for his dream job to run the athletic department at Watertown. He didn't get the job then, he has now.
It's interesting, as you mentioned, 17 years ago when I was a coach and a physical education teacher for the district, I saw myself being in the position of director of athletics, physical education, and health. And that didn't happen for me, and it was kind of a challenging time for me at first, but God had a plan for me, and he took me on a different path. Went into administration through Starbuck, through Ohio, now at Case Middle School, and I've truly loved every minute of it.
Having the administration positions he feels will help him in running the athletic department.
Absolutely. Being an administrator for almost 17 years, you learn a lot of things about dealing with people, with communicating, with community members. I feel that I have a lot of really good qualifications that have given me a super foundation to really make a difference in this new position.
Mark Taylor will be in the position until the end of June. At that point, both he and the Board of Education will decide whether or not to continue the relationship. In my humble opinion, there's nobody better for the job. Commercials, then Zach Grady.
Toyota Sports Report, sponsored by you.
Brendan Straub is back tomorrow with the Weekend Report. For Mel and John, this has been 7 News Tonight.